I buy too many dice. I don't need more dice. I have dice. But I can't stop buying dice. And when I say I have dice, I have dice. Today we're going to look at some dice storage options, from an easy level 1 build all the way up to a level 20 build. So depending on how many dice you have, we have a solution for you for either at home or travel. Our level 1 dice storage is a pencil box style. We cut 3 pieces of walnut wood out of some scrap wood we had, about 2.5 inches tall, and then cut them down to about 1/2 inch thick. You can adjust the size that you want based on how many dice you have to store. We cut the 2 long sides at about 8.5 inches and the 2 short sides at about 5 inches and mitered the corners. We needed to cut a groove for both the base and the lid, so we adjusted our blade height to about 2/3 of the height of the piece of the wood and ran a groove once down each side. You're going to have to adjust the width of that groove to fit what you want for the base and the lid. We're using this piece of plywood. With all 4 pieces grooved, we sanded the inside as it's easier to do now than later. You're going to want to take one of your end pieces and trim off the top of it just where it meets the groove. We measured the plywood for the base and cut it just so it fits nicely inside the grooves and glued up the box. After some sanding, we are ready to measure for the lid. We cut our plywood, drill the hole in one end, and check the fit. After finish, a level 1 dice vault ready to go. For our level 4 dice vault, we got a little fancier with the types of wood and changed the type of lid on the box. I found a piece of Murado wood from South America that I had left over from another project. We again cut it, this time a little bit taller at about 3 inches, and left it the full 1 inch width. Again, we needed to cut a groove along one edge to hold the bottom. We adjusted the width to fit our plywood bottom. Now we added a rabbet along the top edge to hold our lid. We cut our miters for the sides and the end of the box. Again, you can adjust it to whatever size you need. For this one, we did about 8 inches by 5 inches. We again cut a piece of plywood to fit the base and glued it up. I found some Australian lace wood to use for the lid. We cut it to size, added a handle, and after some finishing, we were ready to go. Our level 7 dice box is a frame and panel style that we can add extra options to. We start by cutting some blocks of wood 3/4 of an inch by 3/4 of an inch. We're going to add a groove down the center of each piece on one side to fit our panels. Again, you can cut them any size depending on your needs. You're going to need 4 longer pieces for the sides, 4 shorter pieces for the ends, and 8 pieces for your uprights. Cut your panels to fit. We used some maple plywood. Again, you're going to want to cut a groove in one side for your base as with the previous models. And don't worry about those holes in the side. After we miter each one of these, you'll never see them. And we glued it up. We chamfered the top side of the box and then nibbled away an overhang on the bottom side to fit inside the box. Finishing the handle, and our level 7 dice box was ready to go. We wanted to move our level 7 box up to a level 8 box, so we found a lion's head ring pole that we replaced for the handle on the top. To move it up another notch, to level 9, we found some metal corners that we had laying about that we added to each corner of the box to give it a little more distinctive look. For level 10, we had those panels on the side that were just begging for some artwork. So we went over to the laser and we added some. You can build the boxes whatever size you need to fit whatever amount of dice you happen to have. For level 13, we wanted to build a travel box. Now to build this, you need a little more specialized equipment in the form of a CNC router. We found some nice soprano wood, also known as zebra wood, cut some blanks, and took it over to the router table. This design we did fits 2 sets of dice. We trimmed off the excess that we used to hold it in the CNC, and the 2 pieces nest great together. We glued in some magnets, making sure we reversed the polarity between each side. Some finish, and our travel dice box was ready to go. For our level 16 box, we upped the ante again. This time we made it to hold 3 sets of dice and added an inlaid section that we laser engraved on. As with the double, we started off with a blank piece of wood, slightly bigger, and carved it on the CNC to hold 3 sets of dice. Then over to the laser to engrave a pocket in. I dug through my box of veneers and found a piece that would work. I cut a matching size piece on the laser. And we glued it to the top of the box. This left a great space to laser engrave onto. Again, some finish, and our triple dice vault for travel was ready to go. For level 20, we needed to go 3D. We started off the same as our last box, but the lid we made a little taller so we had room to cut a 3D image on top. This was the rough cut. Then it moved into the fine detail. Some trimming, some cleanup, and some finish. And we hit level 20. These you can add some felt to the bottom if you wish to cushion your dice a little. If you got some value out of this, please hit like and subscribe. And as always, have fun gaming.